Les gars, le podcast d'aujourd'hui est une présentation de Onibi.
Yeah!
Onibi qui est une eau d'excellente qualité.
Absolument.
En plus, c'est environnemental. C'est une canette en aluminium. Donc, évidemment, c'est 100% recyclable.
Il y a 4 saveurs.
4 saveurs. Ici, on a la lime. On
Mûr,
a
orange sanguine et
fruit du dragon.
fruit du dragon.
C'est un produit local aussi, en fait, puisé dans une esquerre du côté de la Sarre, dans le secteur de la Sarre, en canetté. Ça se dit-tu? Embouteillé, mais en canetté,
En canetté
dans le
qui
secteur
fait-
d'Amos.
Ouais, puis c'est l'eau qui fait le moins de transport.
Ouais,
Part
parce-
de la Sarre qui va directement.
C'est un véhicule 100% électrique en plus. C'est une
Exact.
initiative que Onibi a fait. Donc, encouragez-les, supportez-les. Merci aussi de supporter le podcast, supporter Bon en salle. Continuez d'écouter nos épisodes. Grâce à eux et d'autres choses, on fait du bon contenu. Donc, merci Onibi. Et là, on va se rappeler que Onibi, c'est bon en salle.
C'est bon, ça. Bon en salle, le podcast du théâtre des Eskers, une présentation de Onibi parce qu'Onibi c'est...
Bon en salle!
Oh oui! Aujourd'hui, on a un invité très spécial, une vedette internationale. Mais avant de passer à la vedette internationale, je vais vous présenter une vedette intergalactique. Je présente mon co-animateur Pierre-Anthony Breton.
Eh oui, pour me rencontrer, il faut faire du moche. C'est plus le côté intergalactique de la chose.
Si vous voulez le trouver, il se tient toujours sur la Voie lactée. Donc, je vous invite à le suivre. T'es-tu excité, Pierre?
Très, très excité.
Fou! Fou comme la merde.
Ah oui, fou comme la merde. J'ai pas dormi de la nuit.
Ton anglais est comment?
Mon anglais est fort.
Ton anglais est fort!
J'étais à l'université à Ottawa, puis ça se résume à ça. Mon anglais...
Bon, on va le tester. Je vais te donner une note à la fin de ce podcast.
Ouais, parfait. Je te donnerai une note aussi.
C'est bon, ça. Fait que notre invité, comme j'ai dit, c'est une vedette internationale qui est là. C'est une vedette du country qui est venue nous rendre visite à Amos. Je vous présente Mr. Dave Fenley. Hey, how are you,
Hey.
Dave?
Good, incredible. How are y'all?
Pretty good, pretty good.
How do you find the weather up north?
I love it.
Really?
Yeah?
Absolutely. This is my favorite kind of weather. I love being crisp. I love walking outside and feeling the air. And where I'm from originally in Texas, it's just too hot. There, it's like 105. So what's that, 40 something degrees? Too hot. So yeah, I like all 4 seasons. This may be a little too cold for my wife and my daughter, but it's perfect for me.
Oh, that's nice.
Is it getting cold in Tennessee sometime? Or?
Oh yeah, like we get a little bit of snow. It doesn't usually stay more than a week, but
Okay.
we'll get snow here and there, and definitely gets cold. Like right now, I think it's probably around -3, -2. So
That's not so bad. It's cold for you, but for us, it's summertime.
yeah, exactly. That was wonderful. I love
It's summer for us.
So, you're here to present I was about to say your one-man show, but your own show. Your own show.
Yeah, what?
Is your first time in Abitibi, I guess?
It is. I performed last night in.
Why?
Yeah, I can't say it. And tonight was Amos.
Amos, yes.
Yeah, and then tomorrow Val d'Or. So like these 3 shows in Abitibi, and it's really exciting. The last night's audience was probably one of my favorite that I've performed. Like they were there the whole time. They were into it. They were laughing when they were supposed to. They cried when they were supposed to. It was perfect. Like I really hope tonight. I'm confident tonight's going to go well too, because the people I've met here are just so awesome and warm and gracious.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who really love country music and new country here in Amos and Abitibi in general. But what bring you up here? What happened? What's the story behind a tour a tour in the north? Sorry,
Yeah, you mean just in Quebec in general, or just this far north?
this part.
this
In
part.
fact, because in Quebec in general, there's a lot of stars who goes there, but in our region, it's pretty rare, I'd say.
Well, the reason I'm in Quebec at all is because of Lise Dion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did en direct de l'univers.
Correct. Yeah. So because of En Direct de l'Univers and Lise is kind of my boss. Like she produces all the shows. So
Really?
her company, 60M Sounds, they produce all the shows. So because she has a great relationship with all the theaters across Quebec, they book me all these shows. And so I kind of follow wherever Lise has been, and people show up. Thank goodness.
Oh, that's good. That's nice. So, how is it happen? Just because of En direct de l'univers, you met her and she decided to book you in Quebec everywhere.
Exactly. So yeah, the whole thing started like on direct. They ask like a questionnaire of all these different things, like what did you listen to in high school? What was your favorite music growing up? Who are you listening to now? Who's your favorite singer? Things like that. And apparently on her daughter, Claudie, had just shown her one of my videos like 3 or 4 days prior to the questionnaire. So when it came to the asking, who do you listen to now? She said me. So they sent me an email, asked if I could come up and perform on direct de l'univers, and I showed up and surprised her. And then she came out to the hotel afterwards to say thank you with her team. And then they said, if we try to bring you some shows in Quebec, would you come? And I said, sure. And a year, 2 years almost later, 2 years now, and we're still here and making it happen, and now we're in Onibi.
That's nice. Because you grew up a bit in Canada.
I did. I spent some time in Alberta.
Alberta.
I went to high school and college in Edmonton. My father worked for an oil company. So we just had a work permit for him, and then I got to be there because I was a kid.
Yeah, I thought this was the relation between you and the Quebec at first when I read that. So, it's a comedian. A comedian brought you to her in Quebec.
Exactly. I mean, it makes for a really fun story. And because Lise is so well loved in Quebec, I feel like I have a really great mentor, a really great person who kind of speaks for me and says, hey, Dave is a good guy, show up and check him out. So it's been incredible to work with her and her team.
And En direct de l'univers is a good showcase for you too. It's listened by millions of people in Quebec, so that's quite nice. Yeah. You're born in Texas, born and raised?
Born and raised in Texas and Canada, and pretty much back and forth. And then I moved to LA for a little while. Then I moved to Nashville, I guess about 11, 12 years ago. And I've been just living in Nashville, writing country music and playing around wherever I could. I've been on a bunch of TV shows like The Voice and America's Got Talent. And
oh, really?
Lost all of those, yeah.
Did you at least get to TV or?
Oh, yeah. I made it to the top 10. I did well.
Oh,
yeah.
And how is it to perform in such pressure in front of a lot of people like that?
It's
a contest, so
it's those kind of things actually don't have much pressure. To me, it's more I like the pressure of being in front of a real audience. There's something weird about being judged on these kind of TV shows.
Yeah,
and it's not my favorite thing, but I felt like I did a pretty good job overall in picking good songs and doing things that made it feel like me as an artist. So it was a really good time, and I was kind of the oldest guy on the show. There was a bunch of young kids, but I spent a lot of time working with them on teaching them how the industry works and since I'd been on America's Got Talent back in 2013, I had a lot of experience on what not to do after a TV show. So when The Voice came around, I knew exactly how I wanted to be on TV and how to get off the show and how to try to put myself in a good position to be successful.
What is it not to do after a TV show?
The biggest thing is don't think that everything's going to happen for you. Yeah. You still have to put the work in. You still have to follow up with, promoting and trying to maximize on your opportunity.
Mm. Yeah, it's true, because if you just wait that the phone's going to ring, it's not going to happen.
Right. It does for a little while, but those shows happen so fast that as soon as the next season starts, then you're part of last season,
you get for it. And you're from Texas, like we said, so the country music is there, but is there, do you come from a musician family, or something that you pick up by yourself, or where did your talents came from?
I mean, my father sings. My dad sang in a gospel quartet. Like, I was raised singing in church. So I think music has always been a big part of my life. I just happen to be more ambitious and try to make a career out of it, which nobody wanted me to do.
But it's a lot of risk, so.
Absolutely. And I never really gave myself a backup plan. I just kind of went for it. I knew that I loved it. I knew I was good enough at it. I started writing songs, and I just fell in love with that whole process.
And where the process really kicked for you, was it the TV, or it's just you get on the road and show after show you now see that you have some kind of audience following you and encouraging you? What pushed you enough to consider it?
There's the natural just playing in bars, like the grind that you have to do as a musician. You have to go out and play everywhere you can. And that was really effective up to a point. And then there's the being on TV, which is, there's nothing that you can't buy that kind of advertisement. So trying to maximize that ability to, when people are watching, then I went straight after The Voice, straight into YouTube, and really put a lot of money and effort into making good quality videos so that people could find me there. And then that just that snowballed everything. But I'll tell you what's really been incredible is the past 2 years, having this relationship with Quebec has really made the rest of the world notice. It's crazy because in the United States, there's so much to choose from. There's so much country music. But in Quebec, it feels like I'm kind of a part of a early revolution, an early movement.
Yeah, there's a revolution in country music.
And I feel like I'm part of the early stages of that. And so I've got a lot of people that are really showing a lot of love and showing up to theaters like this. And it's been so wonderful. But because of all the photos that we take and all the opportunity, things like this, where we get to go on a podcast and talk about it, this stuff gets noticed everywhere. So like Brazil right now wants me. I just had 300,000 Instagram followers from Brazil in the last 8 months that want me to show up and play shows. So in the Philippines, it's crazy because Quebec is pretty much responsible for changing my whole career and changing my life. And we're looking for a house now.
Oh, that's
Quebec. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Really?
Yeah.
In which town?
We're looking like in the
Bel-Air, yeah.
Mont Saint-Hilaire, Saint-Julie, that area. We love that.
Oh, that's nice.
I can never tell if they're laughing at how bad I sing.
No, it's
That's all right. You're trying.
it's a friendly laugh.
Yeah.
It's like you're like the Backstreet Boys. The Backstreet Boys happened the same thing for them.
Yeah.
Like they started to get popular because of Quebec.
Right.
In Montreal, yeah, like they got so big in Montreal that they got noticed in America. That's how they got so big in America. So it's kind of the same effect that happened to you.
Yeah. So
It's funny.
yeah, it's crazy, but there's just nothing like Quebec as far as the amount of people and warmth and generosity that they show to me is wonderful. But also the fact that there's so many places to play. It's like if you go to Texas, they don't have a place that holds 700 people or 1,000 people every 20 miles. But it seems like Quebec, every little town has its own theater.
Yeah.
And that is just not common.
Really?
No, not at all.
I'm quite surprised, in fact.
No, it's unlike any place in the world. In fact, I don't think there's any other place. I don't think the rest of Canada does either. To be honest, like I've never seen anything that has such a community that will go and be supportive of their local theater and show up for every comedian, every musician. It's just, from my standpoint, it's one of the most beautiful, magical, special places in the whole world.
We'll make sure to take notice.
I don't want anyone else to know about it.
No, there's no country here staged in the United States.
This place is terrible.
There's another kind of big figure in country in Quebec. It's Matt Lang. Have you met him yet? Have you played with him?
Matt's one of my dear friends.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love Matt so much. In fact, he just came to Nashville about a month ago and did his first stage performance, and I was up on stage with him.
Really?
Yeah, it was incredible.
Where did you play, in a bar, or was it?
Yeah, there's an event every week called Revival, and you sit on a church pew in a bar, and you sing 3 or 4 original songs side by side with other people that you love. And he called me and asked me if I would do it with him, and so I got to sit right next to him while he was singing his new songs for his very first audience in Tennessee, and they just loved him.
Really?
Oh, that's nice.
It was great.
Yeah, he has a crazy sound. It's quite heavy for a country music. Yeah, when you listen to Matt Lang.
Yeah. But he sounds. I used to tour with a guy named Thomas Rhett, and a big country artist, and his show feels so much like a Thomas Rhett show. It's very good lights, very incredible band, very big, fun show, and he is an incredible performer. So yeah, I think if anybody out there hasn't seen Matt Lang, especially in the festival setting, you got to check him out.
Now here in Amos, I'm pretty sure that it's who doesn't see it.
I haven't.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Go for it, buddy. Go for it.
You went here how many times? 4? 5?
Like 5 times in the last 2 years. He came here a lot. You really fall in love with the place and all. That's quite nice. So, do you record your own music yourself, or do you go in studio? How do you work for recording?
I don't trust myself to do anything. The only thing I feel like I'm good at is writing and singing songs. Everything else I leave to the people that know what they're doing. Like, I don't trust myself to do my own taxes. I don't trust myself to record my own music. I don't trust myself to do anything except write and sing.
Write and singing, and it's all you by yourself with your guitar all the time?
No, the Nashville community is very much a community where we sit together every day. I mean, I literally write 3 or 4 songs a week because I have a new record deal, a new record coming out in April. So everything we're doing right now is just trying to write, and find the best 12, 15 songs we can put on the record.
So it's a hard grind while you're doing your show and everything. So
say what?
It's a hard grind to put on a show like this.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's hard because it's fun.
It's fun.
I mean, it's work.
It's a lot of work.
But it's not hard work. I don't think, if you look at my hands, I've never really worked.
And the CD that's gonna come out, but the album, does it have a name yet, or it's not ready to?
It might be like One System. No, I'm kidding. I've been leaning on a theme called Life Exceeds Dreams. Just because that's kind of what I've been saying over and over since I've been coming to Quebec, is I never dreamed that I would have this kind of life that Quebec has provided. So life is exceeding my dreams.
It's funny because Lise Dion, it's pretty much the same thing that happened to her. She showed up on stage one time and she became a star like this.
Right.
So it's like your mentor. It's like you're following the same footpath in Quebec.
And she's so wonderful, and she's an incredible singer too. I don't know if you knew this, but she sings beautifully, and I don't know. She's had an incredible career. I would love to see her do something in music too, because she's wonderful.
Would you do it with her? Would you invite her on your album?
If she would let me, absolutely.
Don't tell me she's too shy.
So, like your show is really a close-up, like with the public. So you're like really alone with your guitar. I saw you have a beer. Like the connection with the public. How is it?
Well, good job. No,
thank you. Thank you.
For me, it was important when we first started talking about me coming up here at all. I wanted to make sure that if an audience was going to come out one time, only once, that they got to know me. So we talked about having other musicians, but I really wanted this first tour, the Unplugged tour, to be just me, a guitar, some stories, a couple of beers, because I really want the audience to have a chance to get to know what and how grateful I am to be here. And it's worked out so well because I've had people come back 5 and 6 times to the same show already. So we only have 3 shows left of the Unplugged tour, and then starting next year, we're going into the trio tour. So I'll have 2 other musicians, steel guitar, fiddle, like it's a 3-part harmony, lots of singing. So the show is going to grow. This is the last time for people to see the Unplugged show as it is. But to answer your question, I just really love that feeling of intimacy, where it feels like you're at my house, or we're sitting by a campfire, we're telling stories.
With 7 uncles sitting in the room.
Exactly. But it's been my favorite because people, like, I'm also the last one. I always say I'm the last one to leave a show. So at the end of the night, after I get done, I'll come out to the merch area, kind of like where we're sitting. Yeah. And I'll stand here and I'll sign and take pictures with every single person, no matter how long the line is. I'm the last one to leave. So I've met so many incredible people on this tour that have come back and come back and come back just to take another photo, show me the last picture we took together. And that's been my favorite part. Other than singing songs, meeting the people of Quebec all over has been just an incredible thing.
Is it the same thing when you play in the United States? Do you have lines? Do you have to speak with a lot of people after show?
No, like like I said, this is such a crazy aspect to my life. I don't have this level of success everywhere. But I think it's just, there's so much and it's so spread out, you know. It's really wonderful the kind of community that Quebec is and how much they support and bolster artists like me, because I can go to Tennessee and do well, I can go to Texas and do well, but if I go to Iowa, you know, Iowa doesn't know, I don't have that same, I can't go and support every single state the way I can in Quebec.
And does it extend a little bit to Canada? Have you toured Canada too?
No, I'm nervous. Because I know that New Brunswick wants me. I know that Ontario wants me. I know I could go do Alberta, but because of how much I love it here, it makes me honestly nervous to try to go another province and see and just feel like nobody shows up, and I don't want to book a big room and then not sell it.
No, it's true, but you could start small and.
Yeah.
New Brunswick, it's really like Quebec in a sense.
Right.
There are hungry people for cultures and for country music. So there's a big star right now called Le Petit Béliveau who's doing really well for himself.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure you'll do great in New Brunswick at least.
Okay, so whoever listens, if you know a venue that you think I should go, just type it in.
You're open to it. You're still nervous, but you're open to it.
Oh yeah, I'll want to do it. I'm nervous that I won't succeed. Like I don't want to disappoint other people. I don't want to disappoint my team. I don't want to disappoint my family. I don't want to take them all the way over there and then have people not show up. I'm just, you know, it's you get very comfortable, and maybe that's a problem. It's like I just love it here, and I feel like I'm really building something that can last the rest of my life, and I don't want to mess it up, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of cute, for real. It's the first time I'm hearing this. Usually the artists are really ambitious. After Quebec, I'm going to go to Canada, and then after that, it's the moon. No, you just want to build your stay, take your place, and just...
Well, there's a saying in the States, like, dance with the one you showed up with. You know, and like, I feel like Quebec is the one who got me to this point that all I've ever wanted to do as a musician was play theaters. But I can't fill 1,000 seats in Iowa, right?
Yeah.
But I can put 1,000 people in a room in Quebec, which is all I've ever wanted to do. So I do want to grow, but I also don't want to miss these moments that I love so much.
I hope that they're not gonna hand for you. I hope that they continue and Quebec still show you much appreciated love.
Yeah, I really hope so too, because I love it. Especially if we buy a house here.
Usually at this time of the show, we're gonna see if some people have some question for you. Are you okay with that?
Of course.
Avez-vous des questions pour Dave? Si vous êtes pas sûr de la prononciation, je peux essayer de vous le traduire.
Ou moi, mais je vous garantis pas la...
Ah non, PA, ça va être encore plus drôle. Ah, il a parlé tantôt. That's okay. We got one of your big fan right here. It's just,
I know.
As soon as she heard that you were in the building, she straight to
I know, it was awesome. Yeah, I signed a guitar. I don't get to do that every day. She named her new car after me, which is so cool. So yeah, I mean, I this is like I said, one of my favorite things to do is meeting the people that are moved by my music or by my voice or by my personality or charisma, whatever. Because whatever I get from people is what I give to. Like, and I feel like it goes both ways. Like I give at my show tonight, I'm going to be as vulnerable and as honest and as funny as life will allow me to be. And then at the end of the show, when they come up and say hi and they say thanks for a show, and I feel like I get all that back times 10. It's amazing.
It's amazing. Well, Dave, thanks a lot.
I have one last question.
Go ahead.
Mine, yeah. A classic Quebec question for the audience. How is the poutine?
You know,
It's we need to know.
I had a poutine the other day.
Yeah.
That was I don't know what town we were in. But my sound guy, his father lives there in this town, and it was the best smoked meat poutine that I could have ever imagined. It was so good. What? Okay, you
Mont-Laurier?
Mont-Laurier.
it was incredible. So yeah, but hands down, it's better than any fake poutine they try to do in the States.
That's
Yeah, a good cheese curd.
If you want to find the best poutine in Quebec, you have to look for the fly guard in the windows that are broken, and the fly are inside. Poutine is good there.
and incredible beer.
Oh yeah,
What was the beer we were having yesterday? Prospector or something?
Le Prospector.
Yeah, that's a good beer.
If you like this beer, there's a bar in town after your show that's gonna be open that serve a lot of Prospector.
Really?
Really, it's called the Cour Alternatif. It's a good place to be.
All right.
That's his own bar.
Perfect. That's your you own it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I'm building a brewery too in Illinois.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a brewery.
Yeah, a brewery, and I think we're gonna also do our own spirits too. Brewstillery.
Which kind of a beer do you brew? Every
It'll be a lot of different kinds. Yeah. So I don't know much about the brew process. I have a partner that knows everything.
You just have to do the best
I just
part.
gotta drink it.
It should be cool though. Where it is? Where's the bar?
It'll be Marion, Illinois.
Marion, Illinois.
Yeah, 3 hours from Nashville.
Nice. It's a really nice, fun thing to do. You're gonna have a stage there for Ben?
Oh yeah, we have a stage and a full recording studio to record every show that happens.
No
there,
way.
To play it.
Oh.
So during the daytime when there's not a musician, we'll be playing the video and audio from the other shows, kind of in a mashup, so you can always see what kind of musicians play there.
Great idea. I might steal it. We have all the equipment. Just never thought about it.
Yeah.
It's a small place though. Huh, Steve? It's a small place. But hey, after your show, if you don't know what to do, come to the Cour Alternatif.
I think I can do that.
Yeah, of course. Hey, Dave, it was really a pleasure.
Hey.
You're really a nice guy.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
making the time.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Hey, it's your time that we're thankful for.
Oh yeah, I got to get out of here. Bye. Ciao, bye.
Ciao. Hey, merci tout le monde. On s'excuse pour ceux qui parlent pas anglais. J'espère que vous allez avoir aimé l'épisode. Une fois encore, j'aimerais remercier notre commanditaire, Onibi. Parce que Onibi, c'est...
Bon en salle. Do you want to try to say it?
Yeah, Onibi.
Bon en salle.
What is that?
Bon en salle.
Bon
en salle.
en salle.
C'est bon en salle.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup et à la prochaine.